Yo, what's good, call builders? Hope you guys are having an awesome day. We got a pretty exciting session here, a continuation of the little teaser interviews that we've been doing in anticipation of the Cult Builders Live Summit. So as you guys can see, and I know many of you already know this face that you see on the camera right now, I got my man Jonathan Montoya joining us today, and we're gonna get a little bit of a sneak peek into his backstory and his journey. It's a pretty remarkable journey because I remember watching him over the past couple of years when he first got started, and he just torpedoed in the space and has grown well beyond where he started in affiliate marketing, all that. So it'll be very interesting to hear his story. A lot to pick up for sure, and a lot to learn for everybody here. And we'll also get a little bit of a preview into what he's talking about during the summit, which is going to be focused all around YouTube. So more on that later. But for those of you who are tuning in with us, let us know if you're here. You can drop a comment below. If you're watching on the live, just drop a hashtag live. If you're watching on the replay, drop a hashtag replay. Make sure to smash that heart reaction on this video so that others in the group can see it and can enjoy this content with us. And without further ado, Jonathan Montoya, welcome to the group, man.
Zeky, appreciate you having me on, man. It's gonna be fun, man. I hope people get some value from the story and are excited about what I'm going to teach on for the live summit. So I think it's gonna be fun. So yeah, man, I appreciate you having me here.
For sure, man. It's my pleasure. All right, so let's jump right into it. Obviously, by the way, when did you get started? Because I remember you getting started in affiliate marketing, at least when you came on my radar. But I think it's been a couple of years now. I don't remember exactly when it was. How long was it when you got started?
So officially started in May of 2019. So actually, that was the year, or that was the month that I started affiliate marketing, but also went negative $1,200 in the bank like 5 days before. So, which was kind of the thing that kind of jolted me to do affiliate marketing. That was like, okay, I gotta figure this thing out. But yeah, that was the date.
Okay, so it was in 2019. Since then, you've expanded beyond affiliate marketing, and you've done a lot of things. I know you have your own massive affiliate program with affiliates who've hit six figures. Learning from you and selling your products, selling their own products, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm interested in hearing that journey. If we can go back in time to 2019 and hear how things panned out from then, and even maybe a little bit before you got started in affiliate marketing, because I'd love to hear what got you started on this journey in the first place.
Yeah, no, I'd love to go into that. So yeah, it definitely started before. So I got my job so I went to school actually as to be an engineer, electrical engineer. So I got my degree in 2014. Then I got a job as an engineer. So I started working the job. I was excited, man. I was making $52,000 a year, right? So, which was so much money to me at the time. And then as I started working, man, I just started noticing like people doing this exact same thing day after day. Like I would literally walk into the break room to get coffee at like 8 o'clock, 8:05 a.m. and the same guys getting the same cup of coffee literally every single day. And I was like, okay, this is just like, so I started going at different times and stuff like that. And one thing that really stood out to me was this guy that every day he would come in and he would walk through all the cubicles and he would say, 457 days until I retire. Next day, 452, 430, whatever, right? Every single day. His name was Fred. He's an awesome guy, by the way. But every day he would come in and I was like, hey, man, like, what are you going to do when you retire? He's like, well, I'm going to go to Hawaii and me and my wife, we're going to finally live our life and we're going to have the freedom, right? Which was crazy because I'm like, okay, that's awesome. Like, good for you, man. But I just thought to myself, like, man, he's going to be 65 or whatever it is, when you retire. And I was like, okay, I got to get out of here. So like it all started with Fred because he was the one that kind of got me thinking like, I don't want to do that. Like, this is not what I want to do. And I started getting this rut of doing the same thing as well. And it's just being stagnant at this job. So shortly after kind of that I guess you can say, is I started getting into like side hustles. So I started getting into like cryptocurrency. I built a drop shipping store. I got into Amazon FBA. I got in, I had an e-commerce store. I even had a health and fitness product, and pretty much every one of those things failed. And that's kind of what led me to going negative $1,200 in the bank was because I was trying to, at the time I was trying to get rich quick, right? Because I just wanted to get out of that job. I didn't know anything about anything. I just was trying to find a side hustle that was going to make me money. So long story short, I, obviously spent all this money on courses, losing money with crypto. And the thing that got me negative 1,200 was I was doing like this Forex trading and I got my emotions involved. And long story short, I put all my money in because I thought I was going to make it back. And we went in debt, which was a scary time because I didn't have money to pay for my mortgage. So I was like, what am I going to do? So I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. I think I saw a YouTube video about affiliate marketing. And I'm like, you know what? I think I could do this because I can start a YouTube channel and I can build it until I leave my job. If it takes 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, I know I can make it happen because it's free. It's just all hustle at that point. There's no money involved. So I believe it was May 10th is when I had negative $1,200 in the bank. I still have that screenshot because I knew one day I was going to look back at that. And then May 15th, 2019 was my first YouTube video ever. My first thing doing anything online when it came to like creating content. And basically since then, man, that's when I started creating a video every single day, a YouTube video every single day. And I would get up at 3:30 every morning to go and create content because I worked a 50-hour-a-week job, so I had to figure out a way. So if you go back, you'll notice every single day I did a YouTube video. And since then, man, I've been able to grow my business. I was able to get to 6 figures with affiliate marketing before I even got to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So within, I believe, 6-7 months, and within 9 months, I knew that I could do this full time, and I knew I could make it grow. So I quit my 9-to-5 job in March of 2020. And yeah, so I kind of went all over the place, but that's kind of the long story short.
Nice, man. That's pretty cool. So you quit your job then like maybe a year into it or so?
So 9 months. So I started in May of 2019 and then I quit in March of 2020. So like 2 weeks before the pandemic, which was a whole nother story. But yeah, that was the timeline. So.
What was that like for you, by the way, man? Because I know for me, and you might not have been the same in this, but I know when I left my job, even though I had been making money in affiliate marketing up until then, it was a very nerve-wracking decision to make. I'm interested in hearing what that was like for you.
Oh, it was very nerve-wracking. It was, I kept going through the numbers. I was like, okay, so I'm making this much money from this program, this much money. And I was like, okay, YouTube ad revenue is this money. Okay, I think I could do it. So I was going to quit on month 7. And then I was like, no way. I was like, month eight, I was making more in month 9. But I was extremely nervous to do it because it's uncertainty, right? Like, it's like we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we have a feeling, we think we're going to be able to do it. But it's like, did I just get lucky or, what's going on here? So it was scary because I had a good job. I mean, I was an engineer. I was making decent money, but what's it called? I was very nervous to quit. And then what's even scarier is when I did quit, the pandemic, like everything shut down, bro. Like it was just insane. So I was like, okay, this is scary. And but I was still making money. I was still growing. At this point, though, I had more time. I was, like I said before, I was getting up at 3:30. I would work 2 hours and go to my job, 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours. And then when I had more time, I was actually able to make more money, but it was still scary, right? And here's the crazy thing, Zeky. Okay, so a month after I quit, maybe 6 weeks after, the pandemic just hit. My job called me back, and they were like, "Hey, I know you're doing your own thing, whatever. Do you want to come back? We'll double your pay." And I was like, "Okay, interesting." And I was like, I really thought about it. My wife was like, it's up to you. Like I know you can do it. I know you can continue to grow your business. And, for me, it was like, this is kind of the way out. Like I could guarantee that I'm going to make a certain amount. Right. But I went back to Fred. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. For me, it was the time freedom. Like, even if I made less, like it was the time freedom for me. That was like the biggest thing, the time, like financial freedom is cool, but the time freedom is everything, man. Like, I don't like to be held down by nobody. Like if you
Yeah.
know me, like I'm like I like to do what I want to do when I want to do it. That's why it was so hard for me to work a job, because I hated being there because they told me I had to be there. Um, but yeah, I said no, thank you, I'm good, and that was it. That was it. You know, I never spoke to them again. But I had a way. You know, I had a chance to go back. They doubled my pay. But yeah, I didn't do it, man, and it was scary, like really scary. And I'm glad I didn't do it, because, in a sense, I went all in, right, and I burned the boats. I was on the island. I burned the boats. There's no way I was going back. And since then, man, I've been able to grow my business exponentially since that point. You know, like I said, we've been able to go from 6 figures, now 7, and you know we'll be getting closer to 8 here in 2023. So it's been a good journey.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And that's one of the things I wanted to touch on, by the way, about your explosive growth, which we'll circle back to in a second. I see some more people have joined us. So for anyone who is tuning in with us, if you haven't already, let us know that you're here. I love to know who's hanging with us. Drop a comment. If you're watching this live, drop a hashtag live. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay. Make sure to smash the heart reaction on this video so that more people can see the content and so that we know who's here. So tying back to your story, Jonathan. So one of the things I'll say from watching your journey, I've seen a lot of people come and go in our space. And I've seen a lot of people also who are still around, but they've been around for years. But one of the things that really stands out with watching your journey, man, is just how explosive it has really been. Because if there was one word that I can explain, that I can use to summarize your growth and at least what I've seen you do, it has really been explosive. You've grown very, very quickly. I mean, I remember back seeing those YouTube videos when you're talking about back in the day when you were doing those daily videos. I remember seeing some of those showing up on the news feed, and then seeing you just launch your Freedom Breakthrough program, and seeing even your people get crazy results, and how you've been able to torpedo from there. So if you had to, I mean, obviously there's tons of lessons that you learned along the way.
Yeah.
And it's not an easy journey for sure. You went through a lot of crap on that journey.
Yeah.
But if you had to sum it down as to what you feel are the keys that allowed you to have such explosive growth, as opposed to so many other people who got started at the same time as you, but are not anywhere close to the same place or even before you, what would you say were those key things?
Yeah, man. There's so many things I can put in there, but I would say YouTube, man. And that's why I love teaching it, because you're able to build this brand of people that know, like, and trust you. And it doesn't matter whether you're selling affiliate products, or you're just trying to build a branding following, or you just want to, or you want to have your own course or consulting. Like, it all comes back to my YouTube channel. Let me kind of explain what I mean by that. So my main focus, even to this day, and even when I started, was building the YouTube channel. And everything I do around that is going back to my channel. So, like, everyone talks about organic marketing. Yeah, that's great. But like, what I do is, like, I do the organic marketing, like on Facebook, but my goal is to get people to the YouTube channel. And that's the thing that is so different than what other people are doing, right? Most people now with organic marketing, it's like, okay, let me just go add a bunch of people on Facebook and DM them all and try to get them to buy a high ticket product. Okay, yeah, you might be able to get a few high ticket sales here and there. But the reason I've been able to grow, as you say, exponentially, is because I kind of looked at the long term, right? And like, okay, I can make some sales quick, but let me build this out the right way. So, like, and this is stuff I'll teach you in the training, but essentially, I want to build everything around this YouTube channel, get people there from my Facebook group, from my TikTok, and then that's what builds out the trust, the know-like factor. You're building that cult following, right? Doesn't matter what you sell. You can sell an affiliate product. You can sell your own product. Like, people are just following you. They know and like and trust you because of that strong connection you have with them. So, tactically, I think, like, YouTube is the thing that I still focus on. I think everyone should focus on. As you can tell, like, I'm big on YouTube, but another thing that really helped me was just being consistent, man. Like, everyone, like you said, there's so many people when I started that they're not even here anymore. And just because they stopped being consistent, like, I continue to do the thing that got me to where I am still to this day. So, if people aren't getting results, it's because they're not being consistent for long enough. Imagine waking up and like every single day at 3:30, you're tired and you have to go to work, but you know that you want to quit your job and having to create a video every single day. Like that was my thing. And I had to like do that, or else like I pretty much did it every single time, every single day. There's some days I missed, but I was consistent. And that was like those two things, consistency and YouTube, were the main things that got me there. So yeah, man.
For sure, man. For sure. And I mean, obviously, right now you illustrated how YouTube has been really central, at least tactically, for your strategy. YouTube has been very central. Why YouTube? What, as opposed to any other platforms that you could have chosen?
Yeah. So I saw that, well, one, it was search traffic. So I look at YouTube as a traffic machine, right? So TikTok is amazing, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, those are all amazing. They get you leads and traffic very quickly, but then it dies out, right? You want to be able to build a business that gives you time freedom. Going back, I don't want to be making videos every single day. I want to take a month off if I want, right? So if you're building this YouTube traffic machine the right way with search traffic, that's going to bring you leads and sales for the rest of your life, right? So, for example, like the last 3 weeks I've been traveling, man. I was at masterminds, I was at Funnel Hacking Live, and I was doing this. I've been gone for literally like almost a month. But my business didn't slow down because of that traffic machine. Now, I still love TikTok. I still love Instagram Reels. Like those are all amazing, but use that to feed the YouTube channel, which then builds the traffic machine that gets you more leads and sales for life, right? That's the main goal. And that's, at the end of the day, you don't want to just be on having to create content every day, having to do Facebook DMs every day. Like that's cool. Like it gets you the results quick right away. But do you want to do that for the next 5-10 years, right? Like, you know what I mean? So like, I didn't want to do that. So I went back and I was like, okay, how can I build this out for the long term? And that's why YouTube is what I focus on still to this day. Even though Shorts, TikTok is like the hot thing. I love those. I use them all the time, but I use it to build my long-term assets, YouTube, and of course your email list as well. But YouTube is kind of the main driver.
For sure, 100%. And by the way, for anyone listening to this, I'll say from my own experience, because I haven't gone all in crazy with YouTube like Jonathan has. My channel has a limited number of videos and whatnot, but I get traffic through it. And I'll say from my own experience, the leads that I get from YouTube, by far, highest quality organic lead of any platform that I get. And the other thing that I love about YouTube, which ties back to what Jonathan was just saying, is it's really evergreen. And that's what Jonathan was touching on, even with the search traffic and all that, is as opposed to, let's say, this video that I'm doing right now here in the Facebook group. And I don't get me wrong, I love Facebook groups. That's where I build my community and everything.
Yeah.
But this video, realistically, a year from now, probably is not going to be getting views. It's going to get buried in all the content here in the group on Facebook. Whereas videos that I created on YouTube from like 2 years ago are still getting views every single month. So it's pretty awesome as far as how powerful the platform on YouTube is. And I see we got some questions dropping in the comments. If time permits, we'll pull some questions once I'm done, going into Jonathan's story and asking him my own questions. So feel free to drop the questions that you have in the comments. And remember, Jonathan's doing a full out training on this topic during the actual summit. So if you really want to learn from him when it comes to this topic of YouTube, get your free ticket to the summit. There's a link above this video in the caption. If you haven't already reserved your free ticket, come attend his session and you'll be able to benefit there. So there was another question I was about to ask you, man, that was connected with what you were just talking about with YouTube. It totally slipped my mind as I was talking now, but no worries. While I try to remember that, though, I'll look at what questions people had here in the comments.
Sweet. Yeah.
All right. So someone asked this question. It's kind of just reiterating what you said, but they said, so the YouTube content has the longevity, and you should use other platforms to get you YouTube followers.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So let me answer it like this. So yes, if you create your videos, and of course I'll go into this way more in depth in the session, but if you create your videos with search content in mind, YouTube is eventually going to they're going to send you traffic because people are searching for that. However, it does take time. That's the only issue with YouTube, is it takes time to get your business off the ground or your channel off the ground. So to solve that problem, we use other platforms to kind of give it that boost. So yes, you're going to get more followers. You're going to build that brand a lot quicker. So, like I said, a lot of people use Facebook organic, which is a great way. Like if you want to make money as fast as humanly possible, Facebook organic is the way. But I kind of take that and put it on steroids, right? I take the Facebook organic method. I do, all the posts, the value post or whatever, but I get people to my YouTube channel. So that's the only step I do differently. I don't get in DMs and do all that stuff. I send them to the YouTube channel, let the YouTube video do all the hard work. And then it's a win-win, because then it's like, okay, now I'm getting people to know, like, and trust me in this video. And then eventually YouTube's going to start pushing it out. So you got to start thinking long-term, right? Oh, I don't want to be doing DMs for the rest of my life. Of course, maybe in the beginning, but how can I build this out for the long term? So I'll tell you one more thing about that. YouTube is so powerful. Like, I launched a couple of months ago, maybe like 4 months ago, I launched a high ticket coaching program for it was a small group, like 10, 15 people. It was a 5-figure investment. It was private coaching with me. And literally because of my YouTube videos, like I didn't even have to get on a call. I was able to close $10, $12, $15,000 sales. And because they already knew me so well, it was just like, oh yeah, this is my offer. Cool. I'll take it. Here's the credit card. All because of the YouTube. Right. So that's just one powerful thing about YouTube is like people literally know your whole story by the time they get to buy things from you. So yeah, super, super powerful.
Basically, it ends up doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So you don't really have to do much of a sales process.
Yeah, no, for sure. It does the heavy lifting, but also you're leveraging your time. Like it's like I can teach this one time, tell my story one time, and then that's going to continue to do work for you. So that's how I leverage YouTube.
For sure, man. For sure. Awesome. So another question just popped up. Nobody asked this in the comments, but I figured it'd be beneficial anyways to ask. So I know a lot of people, when it comes to YouTube, you mentioned how the one downside with YouTube is that it obviously does take time. It's not just going to be an overnight thing.
Yep.
I know some people have this perception for YouTube that it's down to luck and the algorithm just deciding that, hey, you know what, we like your content and now we're going to start sharing it, recommending it to people or showing you on search results, etc. So from your experience, because you obviously did it for yourself, I'm assuming, I mean, you've taught many students now. I'm assuming you've had students that have also leveraged YouTube as well. How much would you say luck plays into this?
Like 5%. YouTube is the most data-driven platform ever, more than YouTube, more than TikTok, Facebook. You just got to know the data points. And if you know certain metrics, like it's all about going back to the data and saying, okay, what did I do wrong here? How do I need to fix this? And I'll go through this in the training, because the data points is where I think I really help people grow from the beginning. But essentially, if you know these data points, like, click-through rate, watch time, all these things that are going to help your channel grow, if you know how to fix those things and how to solve them, then it becomes really easy to grow your channel. But yeah, I would say there's like no luck. Now, maybe YouTube Shorts, yeah, maybe that has some luck, which is short form videos, like TikTok version. I would say yes and no. At the end of the day, it comes back to knowing how to create content, and that's just a skill all of you guys should need to learn. But as far as YouTube itself, yeah, there's no luck, man. And I'll even say it this way, because I have my main channel, 50,000 subscribers, which I don't really care about subscribers, but that's a number for you. I have my wife's channel that I manage, about 80,000 subscribers, whole different niche. I started a crypto channel to prove to my students that I could build it from zero. I have 2,000 subscribers, and I have like 6 faceless channels with like 10,000 subscribers. Yeah. And then one more, I manage a concrete business one. It's called LearnCrete. You can go look it up. Close to 30,000 subscribers. So I know YouTube really well, and I know I can help anyone grow from zero. And it's just knowing those data points, knowing it's not luck, but knowing the data and knowing how to read the data and then making the proper changes to grow your channel. So yeah.
Cool, man. And you just made a statement. So I want you to elaborate a little bit on that. You just said you don't really care about subscribers. Can you tell us more why you say that?
Yeah. So Yeah, it's all like subscribers is a vanity metric, right? It doesn't really matter. Like if you have a lot of subscribers, it's cool. Like
Yeah.
I like having subscribers because it shows that I'm growing. But if that's not my two main metrics that I look at in my business is how big is my email list growing per day, and like how much money am I making from that list, right? From that list, yeah. So if those aren't growing, then I'm not doing something right. So like I said earlier, Zeky, I was making six figures on YouTube before I had 1,000 subscribers, right? So um, it didn't matter how much subscribers I had. It mattered like the messaging I had on those videos to get people to take action, to get people to know, like, and trust me. So at the end of the day, subscribers don't matter. The only reason I even mentioned that is because people do see that, right? Oh, does he actually know what he's doing, right? So
Yeah.
I do know how to grow YouTube channels, and I do know how to grow them from scratch. Someone did ask, "What's the name of your wife's YouTube channel?" It's Alicia Darlene. It's a whole different niche. It's talking about new. Like having a new baby, stuff like that, because we have two little ones. So hers is all about that and stuff like that. So anyways, yeah, subscribers don't really matter. It's all about the action that those videos can get people to do, right? So
For sure. Cool. And I see we have another question from somebody in the comments here. They said, I'm assuming they mean for YouTube, do you use similar content to what you put on TikTok?
so yeah, I use TikTok to grow my following. And this goes really deep, and I could go a whole hour on this, but essentially I have like 5 levels of value that I do on TikTok. Like level 1, for example, is like very general type videos where I get people following me. Level 2 is like, okay, now that I got followers, how can I get them to my YouTube channel? So I'll create videos that get people to go to my YouTube channel, watch my videos. I know at the end of the day, if people can go watch my YouTube channel, I got them, because I help people get a big result. I help people leave their 9-to-5 jobs. That's my main thing. So if I get them to my YouTube channel, I can tell my story. I can teach them how to do it, and they're going to learn to know, like, and trust me. So everything I do on TikTok or IG Reels is to really get people funneled into my YouTube ecosystem. Like I said, once I have them there, I got them. So, but yeah, it's that's kind of the main goal with me is getting people there.
Cool. All right. So I think we got through most of the questions here in the comments. I'm going to throw a question out that has really nothing to do with the whole YouTube strategy, but it's a completely different angle. And the reason I want to ask this question is because you're obviously right now with your business operating at a very high level, managing a pretty sizable business. And at the same time, you're a husband, you're a father, and you got other stuff going on in your life. So as someone myself, I mean, I'm married, I don't have kids yet, but do plan to have kids. And I'm sure
Yeah.
other people watching this video are in similar situations. What piece of advice for someone in your scenario who's married, maybe has kids and whatnot, who wants to build and run a business of the size of yours, do you have for balancing all that and doing all that in a healthy way? If you have some advice around that.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. Like I said, I mean, my biggest thing was the time freedom and not putting all my like time into my business as well. Cause like there's so many people that spend like 10, 12 hours a day on the business. And I think there's a time for that. And there's a time where I've been in the business that long. But having a balance is important because you have family, you got, this and that. Like you don't always just want to put all your time into that. Right. I would hope not. For me, at least that's not what I want. So, that's why I say building these like systems, right? So you got your traffic machine, which is for me, YouTube. But then I have help, right? Eventually you get to a point where, okay, can I get an editor? Can I get a thumbnail designer? Can I get someone to, do all these tasks that are, you could say, low level, right? That are going to take away from the main thing. Like the main thing I focus on is creating the videos, but then my team edits them, and then they put it on YouTube. They do the thumbnails. They go and DM people. Like those are things that I can hire out. So the best advice I could give you is like think of the high level task that you can use to leverage your time. Right? For me, I can make one video, and then that's gonna leverage my time insanely. Like infinitely, right? Because an infinite amount of people can go watch my videos. So knowing those what's it called, those levers, right, of leverage is like the biggest thing that helped me grow my business. Like, because I mean, I think most people get stuck in the day to day and they're doing everything. And like I said, there's a time and a place for that. But eventually it's like, okay, how can I start offsetting these tasks to other people? And let me focus on a thing that's going to make me the most money. For me at this very moment is creating YouTube videos. So yeah.
Cool. Awesome, man. All right, so we just hit half an hour on this video. I think we'll put a pin in it here for now, because I do see that we went through all the questions as far as I can see here on the video right now in the live. Now, for anybody who is tuning in live, please drop, if you're still here with us, drop a hashtag still here. I want to know who stuck through to the end. And if you're watching on the replay, you could drop a hashtag replay in the comments. Make sure to hit that heart reaction on this video again so that others can see the video. Even if it's on the replay, they can benefit from this content. Again, Jonathan is going to be going in depth into how to build your audience on YouTube. And before we wrap up, Jonathan, actually, I know we gave a little bit of hints here and there as to what you're covering, but if you can give us just a quick rundown of what your session is focused around and what they will walk away with from having attended your session during the live summit.
Yeah, man. So the goal is to help someone grow a YouTube channel from zero. Like I said, I've been able to do it multiple times, multiple channels, multiple niches. So I know how to do it, and I know I could teach your audience how to do it. So I'm going to start from like the basics. How can we start like with the keyword in mind, and then building out the script from that keyword, and then doing the whole SEO process. I'll try to do as much as I can within the time allotted to teach your audience on how to do it. But I think I'll be able to show them how to basically have a map on how to build a channel from 0 to 1,000 subscribers, and so on. 1,000 subscribers is, I know I say vanity metrics is like, who cares about the subscribers, but 1,000 is a big number, because that's when it's like, okay, the proof of concept is there. Now I just got to stay consistent and get better. So my main goal is to help you get to 1,000 subscribers as fast as possible. And then once you know the data, the metric points, and the things you got to look for, once you get to 1,000, it's like, okay, now you just got to keep doing it at that point. So yeah, that's what we're going to teach.
Exciting, man. Definitely looking forward to it. Alrighty. So like I said, we're going to wrap it up here. Jonathan, if people want to connect with you, you mentioned your YouTube channel. Where can they go find that? And also, is there anywhere else they should go if they want to connect with you?
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. So the channel is Passive Income Lifestyles. You could also type in my name, Jonathan Montoya. I should just come up right away. I'm pretty active on Facebook, so you can go add me, Jonathan Montoya. I'm also in the group as well. So yeah, so Facebook, YouTube. If you want to connect more in depth, Facebook. If you want to see my content, YouTube. So yeah.
Coolio. All right, my man. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate it, Zeky.
And thank you, everybody who tuned in. Again, if you're watching this live, drop a hashtag live in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay. We'll see you guys. I think we're doing our next live interview tomorrow with Flip Moss, if I'm not mistaken. Just go to the events section in our group here, and you'll be able to see when the next ones are. And I'll catch you in the next live. Thank you guys for tuning in. And thank you again, Jonathan.
Bye, everybody.